Representing the 20 to 26 foot class in the center console category, the Croswait Custom 21 has an overall length of 21 feet, a beam of 9 feet 6 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 250. Built to run skinny and tackle open water, she has a draft of 10 inches, a dry weight of 1,900 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 42 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
Let's talk a little bit about something that's always really impressed me, and I've been intrigued by it as long as I've been on the water, is the culture of boat building up in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And this is a Croswait 21, a very unique boat, and very unique to the style of boat you see typically come out of the Outer Banks. They actually originally built this hull for a duck boat. There's guys that are duck guides up there that are hunting the Sound in the wintertime, and they wanted a boat that was wide enough and big enough to carry 500 decoys and 5 guys in the boat and take their duck hunters back into the marsh and go up in the shallow water. And they needed all that space, but a boat that'd get you there and go super shallow to do it. That was the original design for this boat. And now it's evolved from a duck boat into what we're standing on today. We've seen tunnel hulls before, but this is unique. This is a reverse tunnel. It's 6 inches high into the hull with a taper like this, but the tunnel actually necks down towards the motor. I mean, this boat will actually run through 6 inches of water because you're putting enough water across that prop and just skimming over the top of it with the bottom of the boat.
But the acid test for me on a 21-foot boat when we take it out on the ocean is how comfortable it is sitting up forward of the console. This thing rode nice.
It does run nice. Actually, there's a lot of nice things about this boat. Why don't we have a look around?
You know, I keep having to remind myself that this is a 21-footer. How many 21-footers can you take 5 people in comfortably?
You know, we were offshore today throwing jigs, and the 2 of us were up here working around each other. We never bumped into one another the whole morning.
No, and think of how many times we passed each other on the same side of the console without bumping into each other. Show me another 21-footer you can do that in.
Another thing about this boat, too, is that it's not the flats boat that, you know, you think about bone fishing. This is a boat that you can take offshore and go out and anchor up on the reef. Okay, you can go out there and go fishing offshore and go sail fishing in the thing if you wanted to on a nice day. No problem. And look at where your gunnel height is. I mean, you're inside the boat up here. I mean, this is a offshore center console for all intents and purposes right here.
You know, I was thinking about all the different applications this boat has, and all we really got to do is look at the very short trip we had this morning. Look at all we did.
Today we fished in a mangrove creek. We were fishing in the inlet on the rip on the outgoing tide on the jetty. We caught bait offshore. We were running the beach looking for cobies. We did all that in one morning.
But you can't get away from the fact about how simply elegant it is. It's a gorgeous boat.
I couldn't agree more, Rick. You know what? Why don't we take a walk back here and look at the rest of the boat? You know, something that jumps out at me about this boat too, Rick, is it's a functional fishing boat, but this thing has got a lot of curves, a lot of contour, radius. I mean, it looks like a little custom bridge pod right here. And the style doesn't stop there too. Look at the framework on this top, Rick. They've got this set up where 2 people can stand up there. This boat is so stable. You know, it's not a problem to have 2 guys up there. If you're cobia fishing, you want both guys up on top looking for fish, you can do it on this boat. You've got a leaning post area to sit up against when you're driving. You know, they actually incorporate the pump, the filter, and your fittings for the live well right inside here in the front of this box. And they've actually incorporated a 25-gallon live well into the back where there's a seat here too. So you've got rod holders and a seat and your live well underneath and access to all the systems all within this little box right here.
Talk about simply elegant, okay? Mezzanine seating right here. Just, I tell you, these covering boards and that fish box top the boat off.
Yeah, now we feel like we stepped into the cockpit on a sport fish boat here. I mean, this is what it looks like. You've got the, you know, the foam grip deck here that's in teak color and the teak colored covering boards. I mean, this looks like the back of a Carolina sport fish boat. Okay, important to me though is that 9.5-foot beam, we keep going back to it. Imagine being on the anchor on this boat, how much room we've got to stand here on either side of the boat and bottom fish off of the back of it.
You can bottom fish 4 out of this thing as simply as you can out of a 28-foot.
Listen, buddy, if you are looking for a boat that's steeped in tradition, loaded with style, and a super functional boat that comes straight out of the Outer Banks of North Carolina that everybody's going to want to have a look at, you're going to want to have a look at this Croswait 21.